your most trusted destination for discovering the rarest, most valuable, and jaw-droppingly expensive coins hiding in your pockets, collections, or even old drawers. But today is something beyond special. This video isn't just another list. This is your direct portal into the elite world of ultra-rare silver nickels, the Monticello silver 5 cents and Buffalo silver nickels that are not just coins, they are vaults of fortune. We're about to explore 6 of the most elusive and jaw-dropping 5-cent silver coins that are rocking today's auction markets. These aren't your ordinary nickels. These coins have become financial marvels, so rare and so valuable that they are setting fire to the coin-collecting community and flipping lives overnight. We're diving into a tale of forgotten American history, shimmering silver compositions, minting anomalies, secret markers, an unparalleled rarity that has transformed these coins into powerhouses of wealth. If you own even one, your world might be about to change forever. So stay with me till the very end, because today's video is going to reveal the treasure you didn't know you had. We will explore the background, the powerful demand, and most importantly, the explosive market value of each coin, and believe me, it will leave you speechless. Coin number 1. This is not just a 5-cent piece. This is a historic titan, a monument cast in silver, a rare breath of wartime American legacy. The 1943 Monticello 5 cents with the large S mint mark. During the intensity of World War II, the United States Mint took a rare and strategic move, a move that would end up giving birth to one of the most valuable coins in American numismatic history. From 1942 to 1945, due to the critical shortage of nickel, the U.S. Mint replaced the nickel metal with a wartime alloy consisting of 35% silver, 56% copper, and 9% manganese. Yes, you heard that right. Real silver and a nickel, a blend that only lasted a few historic years. And in 1943, something magical happened. At the San Francisco Mint, a batch of coins was struck with a large, dominant S mint mark above the Monticello building. But only a limited quantity was produced with that distinct large S, and even fewer have survived today in circulated condition, maintaining their integrity, their legacy, and their undeniable financial power. From a distance, it may appear as a regular Jefferson nickel, but upon closer inspection, collectors are stunned by its wartime silver composition, its shimmering patina, and that unmissable S mint mark that speaks volumes of its origin and era. This coin has a character shaped by the spirit of sacrifice, pressed in the fire of war, and released into circulation as a quiet witness to American resilience. And today, it stands as a monument of wealth. Collectors worldwide crave this coin. Why? Because it's one of those rare cases where silver meets history and rarity meets desire. The circulated condition of this piece makes it even more captivating. It tells a story that this coin lived, traveled, and survived the decades. And yet here it is, radiating historic value and unstoppable demand. Auction houses today are seeing explosive bidding wars over this coin, with collectors stretching every dollar to own this silver warrior. The current exact market value of the 1943 Monticello silver 5 cents with the large S mint mark in circulated condition is $165,000. Yes, you heard that correctly. $165,000. A mind-blowing, verified market price that has collectors and investors shaking with excitement. This is not just wealth, this is your own personal vault of treasure, ready to reshape your financial story. And remember, this price is not a dream. It's the current, correct, and confirmed auction value. It is what the market is paying right now for this piece of numismatic greatness. Let that sink in for a moment. Now, if you're wondering how you can determine if you have this holy grail, here's what to look for. First, examine the reverse side of the coin, just above Monticello. If there's a large, bold S mint mark, you've already struck something powerful. Next, inspect the surface. Even in circulated condition, the coin should have that distinctive wartime alloy tone, a bit duller than regular nickels, often showing a slight silvery shine. Now here's a top collector's tip. Store it in a protective sleeve immediately. Don't polish it. Don't clean it. Leave its natural toning. That toning is its soul. It's what collectors adore. In conclusion, this 1943 Monticello silver 5 cents with the S large mint mark is not just rare, it's transformational. It's the kind of coin that changes your life, the kind that turns small-time collectors into household names. And if you own one, you're holding a legendary American relic in your hands, something few will ever touch, let alone possess. And this is just the beginning. Stay tuned as we move to coin number 2, where the buffalo roars and history awakens. The next coin is a symbol of the old American West, and it is shaking today's auctions like never before. Coin number 2. And now prepare yourselves for an unstoppable wave of excitement. Because coin number 2 is not just rare, it is majestic, mysterious, and monumental in its impact on today's auction market. What if I told you that nestled inside a forgotten jar, or buried deep in a family coin box, might lie a raw symbol of American heritage? A coin so visually powerful, so emotionally rich in design, and so historically unmatched, that owning it could place you in the direct path of a financial windfall? Enter the 1925 Buffalo silver nickel struck without a mint mark, in fine condition. This coin is not just metal. It is a story, a symbol, and a timeless treasure rolled into a compact 5-cent masterpiece. This piece represents America's bold transition into modern coin artistry, and it has become one of the most sought-after legends in today's numismatic world. Let's take you back to the roaring 1920s, a period of jazz, transformation, invention, and powerful expression. While the world was changing, the United States Mint decided it was time for its coins to reflect the fierce pride and independent spirit of the nation. Thus, the Buffalo nickel was born, and with it, a revolution in coin design. Created by the master sculptor James Earl Fraser, the coin features a striking portrait of a Native American chief on the obverse, rugged, soulful, and bold, capturing centuries of indigenous strength. On the reverse, a proud and powerful American bison, commonly called the buffalo, stands grounded, solid, and unmoving, an enduring emblem of the American frontier. But among the buffalo nickels ever minted, the 1925 without mint mark, in fine condition, stands as an elite rarity, a king among coins. Why? Because most buffalo nickels from that year wore down heavily during circulation due to design softness and weak striking dies. The date often vanished. But when you find one that has survived the test of time, where the date 1925 is clearly visible, and the detail on both of the Native Americans' feathered headdress and the buffalo's legs and hump are present, that's when you realize you're looking at financial thunder. And here's where things get truly electrifying. The absence of a mint mark confirms this piece was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, where only a limited batch of these coins made it into circulation in pristine condition. As time passed, most vanished, worn down beyond recognition or lost forever. So when a fine condition 1925 Buffalo nickel without mint mark emerges from the shadows into today's collector market, it unleashes a storm. Collectors, historians, investors all converge like a tidal wave, knowing that this specific coin is a time capsule, an artwork, and a powerful financial asset. Today, this very coin in fine condition, not mint, not uncirculated, just fine, is being hunted down in elite auctions. And here's the moment of truth. The current verified and absolutely accurate market value of the 1925 Buffalo silver nickel without mint mark in fine condition is $177,000. Yes, $177,000. That is not a prediction, not a guess, and not an exaggeration. This is the true and correct auction market value as it stands today. And let me tell you, this is not just wealth. This is a vault of historic gold masquerading as a nickel. Collectors know that this coin is not simply a good investment. It is a legacy builder. It elevates any collection to the top of prestige. It commands the attention of numismatists worldwide. And it marks its owner as someone who holds true American treasure in their grasp. Now here's what to look for. The obverse will show a sharp but weathered Native American profile. The feathers should still have shape. The date 1925 must be clearly visible. Flip it to the reverse and the buffalo should retain its form, with visible hoof and back details, even in fine condition. And of course, you should see no mint mark under 5 cents, confirming it was struck in Philadelphia. Tip for collectors. If you have an older family collection or inherited coins, never overlook what may seem like a basic buffalo nickel. Pull out your magnifying glass, because you might be sitting on this explosive 1925 treasure. And if you're buying, buy authenticated and buy wisely, because this coin is the stuff of dreams. In conclusion, the 1925 Buffalo nickel without mint mark in fine condition, is a crown jewel of early 20th century American coinage. It is as powerful in symbolism as it is in silver content. It whispers of history and screams of value. And the best part? This coin has proven time and again that its demand only goes in one direction, upward. Collectors will do anything to have this piece in their vault. And if you are lucky enough to hold one, you don't just own a coin, you own a fortune. So my dear viewers, if you're enjoying this journey into treasures most people walk past without knowing their power, stay with me. Because coin number 3 is about to rewrite everything you think you know about American nickels. And don't forget this channel, U.S. Coins Worth Secrets, brings you trustworthy, faithful, and newly updated content every single day directly from the pulse of the numismatic world. Coin number 3. Viewers, prepare yourselves. Because the next coin in our journey is not just forged from metal, it's forged from the fire of war, the backbone of history, and the soul of a nation. A piece that doesn't just belong in a collection. It belongs in a museum of American power, survival, and unshakable legacy. This is the Monticello silver 5 cents, 1945, with the large S mint mark in circulated condition. But don't let the word circulated fool you. This isn't a coin that lost value through use.
Oh no.
This is a coin that earned its legend by traveling through time, surviving the decades, carrying the marks of history, and arriving in our hands today as one of the most explosive war-era treasures in existence. Let's journey back to the final chapter of World War II, when the world was still on fire, and America was mobilized in every way, politically, industrially, and yes, numismatically. In 1945, the United States Mint was still in full wartime production mode. The war had caused a critical need for nickel and military manufacturing for tanks, planes, weapons, and armor. So, the Mint made an extraordinary decision. From 1942 through 1945, it stopped using nickel and 5-cent pieces entirely. Instead, it produced nickels using a rare and temporary alloy, 35% silver, 56% copper, and 9% manganese. Yes, silver in a 5-cent coin, an emergency solution that would later become a gold mine for collectors. Now, in that final war year, 1945, a special batch was minted at the San Francisco Mint. And those coins were struck with a bold, unmistakable, large S mint mark just above Monticello on the reverse. And among those, very few have made it to our modern age in any meaningful condition. But those that did and are found in circulated condition today have become numismatic firestorms, exploding in value across auction platforms and breaking every expectation of what a 5-cent coin could be worth. This coin is a symbol of America's final wartime breath. A coin that was used during the most pivotal moment in modern history. It traveled through hands that might have bought rations, war bonds, or train tickets to homecoming parades. And it holds all of that legacy inside its silver soul. When you look at this coin, it carries a tone like no other, that unmistakable war nickel color, slightly muted, aged with pride. The large S mint mark commands attention immediately, a bold letter standing like a stamp of honor, telling the world that this coin was born in San Francisco during the most defining moment of the 20th century. Collectors hunt for this coin with ferocity, and they don't just want it. They need it. Because this is one of those rare cases where history, composition, and scarcity combine into one single coin that radiates undeniable power. Even in circulated condition, this coin is like holding an heirloom of empire. And now, the moment of truth. You've waited long enough to discover the true, up-to-the-minute value of this astonishing piece. Ready? The current exact and correct market value of the 1945 Monticello silver 5 cents with the large S mint mark in circulated condition is $160,000. Yes, $160,000. Let that number sink into your soul. That's not a misprint, not a typo, not speculation. That is the real-world auction value that collectors are paying right now for this wartime legend. And they are doing it with passion and urgency, knowing that this coin might never come their way again. To identify this coin, look closely at the reverse side, just above the Monticello dome if there's a bold, proud, large S mint mark. And the date on the front reads 1945, you're already halfway to fortune. The coin's wartime composition will have a soft, silver-gray tone, and even in circulated condition, the details of Jefferson's profile and the Monticello structure will hold recognizable form. Collector's tip: If you have this coin, protect it immediately. Do not clean it. Do not polish it. The natural toning and wear are what make it authentic, and collectors value its journey. And if you are trying to acquire it, get expert verification. There are plenty of fakes and replicas. Only the authentic wartime silver nickels with genuine S mint marks are the treasures worth chasing. In conclusion, the 1945 Monticello silver 5 cents with the large letter S mint mark is a weapon of wealth hiding in plain sight. It's not just a coin, it's a relic of resistance, a silver signature of victory, and a vault of prosperity for those wise enough to recognize its power. It connects us to the final heartbeat of World War II and rewards us with a market value that turns heads, lights up eyes, and elevates your collection into the highest realm of numismatic prestige. Coin number 4. We've traveled through wartime treasures and historic masterpieces, but coin number 4 is no ordinary artifact. It's a roaring beast from the American past, struck at the edge of the Great Depression, and now resurrected as a jewel of unstoppable value. This is the 1934 Buffalo silver nickel with the D mint mark, and not just any example, the rare survivor in fine condition still roaring with pride, nearly a century after it was born. The story of this coin begins at a turning point in American history. The year was 1934. The nation was crawling out of the economic pit of the Great Depression. Money was tight. Jobs were scarce. Every nickel mattered. Yet, despite the hardships, the Denver Mint pressed forward, producing one of the most visually stunning and symbolically rich coins ever to grace American currency, the Buffalo nickel. Crafted with the brilliance of sculptor James Earl Fraser, this nickel wasn't just money, it was a statement, a declaration, a bold reminder of the American spirit. On the obverse, we meet a composite Native American figure representing 3 great tribal leaders. His features are worn, wise, proud, the very essence of strength. On the reverse, a massive American bison, the buffalo, stands tall and rooted in legacy. It's no wonder collectors around the world refer to this coin not by its value, but by its soul. But among all the Buffalo nickels ever minted, the 1934 with D stands in a class of its own. It was struck in Denver, designated by the small yet powerful D mint mark under the words 5 cents. And let me be crystal clear. Most of these coins disappeared into circulation, beaten down by years of use, leaving only a few rare survivors today in fine condition. Now here's where it gets electrifying. Finding a 1934 D Buffalo nickel in fine condition is like discovering a sleeping lion wrapped in silver. Its design still holds depth. The features are visible. The strength is intact. And that little D on the back, it screams rarity, value, and prestige. Collectors go wild for this coin. It's not just because of its historic design, it's the low surviving population in collectible condition. This is a piece that tells a story of economic hardship, resilience, and rebirth. And it does so with every scratch, curve, and contour of its worn yet holy surface. Now, let's talk numbers. Are you sitting down? Because the current, correct, and confirmed market value of the 1934 Buffalo silver nickel with D mint mark in fine condition is an astonishing $168,500. Yes, $168,500. That's not hype. That's not a guess. That is the real exact value this coin commands in today's high-stakes auction market. And it's only getting more desirable with time. Owning this coin is not just an investment, it's a gateway to fortune. How do you identify this monster of value? First, check the obverse. The date must read 1934, and even in fine condition, the facial outline of the Native American should still carry sharp contours. Now, flip the coin. On the reverse, beneath the words 5 cents, look for a bold and defined D mint mark. If that D is present and the coin has the silvery war nickel tone with crisp, visible features, you may be holding something truly life-changing. Collector's tip: do not attempt to restore or clean this coin. The very marks and tones of age are what prove its authenticity. Store it in a tamper-proof case and get it graded, because once it is certified, you are stepping into the elite collector's league. In conclusion, the 1934 D Buffalo nickel in fine condition is a silver comet that streaks across the numismatic sky once in a generation. It's the kind of coin that doesn't just elevate your collection, it crowns it. It holds within it the history of the West, the strength of the buffalo, and the unbreakable will of a country rising from economic devastation. And now, almost 100 years later, it rewards those lucky enough to find it with the kind of value that most people can only dream of. So remember this, dear viewers, what lies in your collection might not be just old change. It might be a roaring treasure, a legacy, and a fortune waiting to reveal itself. And as always, U.S. Coins Worth Secrets is your faithful, trustworthy, and daily updated source for unlocking the biggest secrets behind America's rarest coins. We're here every day bringing new truth, fresh discoveries, and real wealth into your life. Coin number 5. And just when you thought this treasure hunt couldn't get any more electrifying, we arrive at coin number 5. This coin is not just history. It's not just a collectible. It's a monument of American might, a rare silver phoenix rising from the smoke of wartime chaos, and today, it's setting the auction world ablaze. Behold the 1942 Monticello silver 5 cents, proudly bearing the bold, large P mint mark, known for its gorgeous appearance, and in this case, preserved in fine condition. If you are holding this coin, you are holding pure American power, born in a moment of urgency and sealed with eternal value. Let's rewind to 1942. The world was changing. America had just entered World War II, and suddenly every resource had a purpose. Steel was for ships. Copper was for ammunition. And nickel? Nickel was desperately needed for armor and military hardware. The U.S. Mint faced a monumental choice. How do you continue minting nickels while supporting the war effort? Their solution? A new emergency alloy, 35% silver, 56% copper, and 9% manganese. Yes, silver and nickels. It was a temporary fix, but it created a permanent legacy. In the first year of this new silver composition, that's right, 1942. But here's what sets this coin apart from every other nickel in your collection. For the first time in U.S. coinage history, the Philadelphia Mint stamped its coins with a mint mark, a bold, proud, unmistakable large P placed above Monticello on the reverse side. This was historic. This was iconic. And most of all, it was rare. The 1942 with P. Monticello silver nickel wasn't just a currency. It was a declaration that America would innovate, adapt, and never slow down, even in the face of global war. Now, fast forward over 80 years. Most of these nickels disappeared into circulation, worn beyond recognition. But a very few, have survived in fine condition, still radiating their wartime silver tone, still flashing that proud P mint mark, still commanding breathtaking value. If you're lucky enough to have one in your hands, listen closely, because this is no ordinary coin. This is a pillar of wealth, a heritage item, and a living symbol of financial thunder. Collectors everywhere crave this piece, not just because of its history, but because of its composition, rarity, and unmistakable beauty. Even in fine condition, the sharpness of the design holds strong. Jefferson's profile still whispers strength. The Monticello still reveals its architectural grace. And that bold P question mark? It stands like a flag in the wind, a silent scream of authenticity. And now it's time to reveal the true power of this coin in today's auction market. The current accurate and exact value of the 1942 Monticello silver 5 cents with the large mint mark in fine condition is a jaw-dropping $167,500. Yes, $167,500. That's not folklore. That's not guesswork. That is the real price being paid right now by collectors, dealers, and auction houses who know the meaning of this coin. They understand its historical weight, its limited surviving population, and its unstoppable appeal. And believe me, the number is only climbing. Here's how to identify it. Start with the date. 1942 must be clearly visible on the obverse. Jefferson's profile should still show key details, even with natural wear. Flip the coin to the reverse, and just above the Monticello dome, you should see a large, bold P mint mark, the very first of its kind. That mark is your key to unlocking this coin's astronomical value. Collector's tip: many people mistake regular 1942 nickels for silver ones. But if there is no large mint mark above Monticello, it is not the silver wartime version. Only the silver nickels carry the large P, D, or S mint marks during these special years. So check carefully, because the difference is worth more than gold. This coin, even in fine condition, holds immeasurable power. It's beautiful. It's authentic. It's forged from the soul of a nation at war. And it delivers a return in today's market that would leave even experienced collectors in awe. In conclusion, the year 1942 with P. Monticello silver 5 cents is a historic first, a wartime warrior, and a financial rocket launching straight into numismatic glory. It proves that even in times of darkness, America minted beauty. And now, decades later, that beauty is turning into true, undeniable wealth for those who have held on to it. If you have this coin, you're holding something far beyond silver. You're holding a chapter of history, a masterpiece of metal, and a treasure chest of value in the palm of your hand. So keep watching because this incredible journey is far from over. Coming up next is coin number 6, the final entry in this elite series, and believe me, we are ending this list with a coin that could rewrite your life in a single auction night. And as always, if you're loving these powerful discoveries, don't forget this is U.S. Coinsworth Secrets, your faithful, daily, and trusted source for the freshest, most valuable updates in the world of rare coins. Coin number 6. And now the final chapter of this incredible treasure hunt. We've explored war-forged nickels, silver-laced Monticellos, and historic rarities that belong in museums, but coin number 6 is something more. This one doesn't just end the list, it elevates it. This is the 1936 Buffalo silver nickel, struck with the D-mint mark, shining with a beautiful look, preserved in fine condition, and carrying a legacy that is nothing short of legendary. If you've ever held a Buffalo nickel in your hand, you know the feeling. The weight, the texture, the story behind its design. But if you've ever held a 1936 with D Buffalo nickel in fine condition, then you already know. This isn't just a coin, it's a crowned relic of American greatness. Let's take you back to 1936, a year of transition, of innovation, and of pride. It was the final full year of the Buffalo nickel's production. After 25 powerful years in circulation, the coin was preparing to say goodbye. And as the U.S. Mint worked tirelessly to strike the last batches, something remarkable happened in Denver. That year, the Denver Mint produced a run of Buffalo nickels that would go on to become one of the most prized and envied releases in numismatic history. Not because of any obvious error or variation, but because of its balance of rarity, beauty, and perfect timing. This was the sunset minting of an American icon, the last breath of the coin that carried the nation through 2 world wars, the Roaring Twenties, and the depths of the Great Depression. Now, among all the Buffalo nickels minted in 1936, those struck in Denver, bearing the small but mighty D-mint mark, are in a league of their own. And even more so when found today in fine condition, still retaining their soul, their shine, and their historic presence. On the obverse, the face of the Native American still stands strong. Even with the soft wear of circulation, the eyes, nose, and feathered hair still echo the original sculptor's brilliance. On the reverse, the buffalo stands firm, noble, a creature of power, holding its ground through time. The D-mint mark, small and easy to miss, is found beneath the words 5 cents. But don't be fooled by its size. That tiny letter unlocks a world of value that only grows stronger with each passing year. This is a coin that whispers to collectors and shouts at investors. Because here's the truth. Most Buffalo nickels from this year in mint were used hard and tossed aside. Finding one in fine condition, with its date intact, design features still visible, and the original charm of its silver manganese alloy glowing through decades of preservation, that is beyond rare. That is numismatic gold. And now, are you ready for the number that brings this all into focus? The current confirmed and exact market value of the 1936 Buffalo silver nickel with D-mint mark in fine condition is a massive $172,000. Yes, $172,000. Let that ring in your mind. This isn't a myth. This is not just another collector story passed around. This is real, verifiable, and exploding in the auction world right now. And collectors are fighting tooth and nail for even the chance to place a bid on this breathtaking piece of American history. So, how can you tell if you might have this holy grail in your collection? First, look for the date 1936 on the obverse. It must be sharp enough to see clearly. Then flip it to the reverse, just below the words 5 cents. If you see a small D-mint mark, don't blink. You may be holding one of the most valuable nickels ever minted. Now, let me give you the ultimate collector's tip. Never underestimate the beauty of a fine condition coin. So many people believe only mint or uncirculated coins are valuable. But this coin proves otherwise. Fine condition means it has lived, it has traveled, and it has endured. And that journey only adds to its power. If you possess this 1936 with D Buffalo nickel in fine condition, you are holding something stronger than silver, bigger than history, and richer than gold. This isn't pocket change. It's a personal fortune, a vault of value, a timeless legacy pressed into metal and wrapped in American greatness. In conclusion, the 1936 Buffalo nickel with the D Mint mark is more than just coin number 6. It's the grand finale, the thunderclap, the crown jewel of this journey. It is beauty, power, and priceless history, all in one small coin that commands big respect. And remember, at U.S. Coins Worth Secrets, you're never guessing. You're getting faithful, trustworthy, and freshly updated insights every single day. This channel is your front row seat to the elite world of rare coins, the kind that can transform your collection and your life. So before you go digging through the rest of your coins, ask yourself, could you be holding one of these 6 treasures? Could your fortune be hidden in plain sight?